High above the oceans, Aldebaran, fiery eye of the bull, has guided mariners for centuries. Our story begins with a 12-year-old Norwegian orphan who followed that star and made it his own. Peder Smedvig learned about the sea under sail, crisscrossing the world with cargo, climbing the ranks to take command. As war raged in Europe, the Smedvig name began to smell prosperity. Norway was neutral, merchant ships became valuable assets, and Peder's ability to judge the market was astonishing. In 2 years, with just 2 ships, he had trebled his money. But he also knew when to stop. Before wartime boom became peacetime slump, Peder cast his net again for the humble herring. Preserving fish was already a big Norwegian industry, but doing it more efficiently was the Smedvig secret. Rebranded and sold to a pre-refrigeration world hungry for protein, thousands of cases rolled off Smedvig's assembly lines. Even when recession came, Smedvig stayed comfortably afloat because Peder risked only what he could afford. In Stavanger they called him Peder Money. By the Wall Street crash, he was pushing the boat out, buying vessels like the Veni, 30 years old but with life in her yet. In 1935 he added an oil tanker, the most profitable venture, until war came again. 4 of the 5 Smedvig ships working for the Allies were destroyed, but the family spirit was undaunted. Peder's eldest son Torolf was a key figure in the Norwegian resistance, with management skills to lead a military force and the Smedvig sixth sense to evade the enemy. Once he hid in a roll of carpet when the Gestapo arrived. When war was over, Torolf was making Smedvig's biggest investments, this time huge oil tankers. And when the North Sea oil rush began, Smedvig moved into onshore bases, supply ships, liquid petroleum gas carriers, and drilling rigs. By 1973, Stavanger had become the oil and gas capital of Europe, and the Smedvig fleet had sailed through 3 consecutive tanker booms. 2 years later, foreseeing a glut, Smedvig boldly cancelled an order for a huge oil tanker, an expensive decision, but one that ultimately secured the company's future. When Torolf died, his son Peter expanded the drilling business to the Far East and floated the company on the New York Stock Exchange. But, like all Smedvigs, he wasn't afraid of change, and he got out of shipping altogether in 1995. 11 years later, the rigs were sold at the peak of the market, releasing funds for new ventures and adding to a portfolio today worth 114 times more than 4 decades ago. Big ships are property, drilling rigs, private equity. Herrings, tomorrow's fresh ideas, like secure data centers deep under Norway's mountains, cooled by the same fjord waters where Peder Smedvig started. And the guiding stars? Now electronic charts that update wirelessly. 100 years of seizing opportunities, saving and reinvesting sees the family's 4th generation plotting a course for a strong, sound and bright future.